Good morning to everyone. So today I'm academic counselor H. Viswas of IGNOU. Today again it is MMPC-02, Human Resource Management. Today block number 3, performance and compensation management, we have to discuss. In this block, block number 3, as you see, there are unit number 8. They started from unit number 8, unit number 9, then 10, and 11. So unit number 8 is your performance appraisals. Unit number 9 is your career development, and unit 10 is your training and development, and 11 is your compensation and rewards management. So before start, as usual, I have to give you some of the overview of the performance appraisals, why it is needed, and what is the some introductory part. Actually, a personal appraisal of the present scenario is very important. Why? Earlier, actually, if we go for 1930s, before that time it was only simply for the employees pay payments and recruitments. Main things recruitments and they pay them. So other thing it may not be required at times. But now people are educated and we have to see their performance. What are the payment? Basically, what are the payment is giving by the organizations that is to be justified. How this money is for this particular job or not. So accordingly, you can get it the value of the work. You can judge it, and really it is really what are the pay money really is justified, and company can assess how much money for the this job or not. And apart from that, in future program also you can see that employee what the area to be more developed for training purposes and other areas, how to develop these persons. So that concept has come slowly. So here actually some of the what the helps organizations, the performance appraisals helps organizations to determine how employees can help to achieve the goal of the organizations. That is one of the basic idea. Then from the organizations are established to achieve the certain objectives, because we have to have some objectives so to achieve all these things. The achievement of the goals or the targets, it depends upon the performance of individual employees. Hence, it is quite necessary to understand as to what extent employees have been successful in their jobs, at their jobs or achievement of the goal. So that has to be some assessment system should be there. For that, some quarterly, half-yearly, some of the companies are in annually report. They can they can format some of these standard report format, and that format employees has to write something what he has done or not, and what are the objectives he has achievable. How much achieved target he has achieved or not. So all these parameters based on this, it can be assessed. So performance appraisal forms as important part of the HRM. So that forms is really important because based on these, after that you can analyze the things. So performance appraisal has a number of specific objectives. What are the objectives? These are below some of the review past performance. Particular financial years, some of the companies are what are the performance that they financially. There are other is the calendar years, January to December. They can what the performance has done. Accordingly, you can review the things and again see together the initial state. And starting of the calendar year, you can decide and accordingly again job can be redesigned, responsibilities, authorities can be allocated accordingly. Another objective is to assess the training needs, because based on this 1 year performance or maybe the past 3-4 years performance, based on this you can management can decide what type of training is required. Help develop the individual, because individual development is also required, basically the motivation purposes and for retaining purposes, because the employee should not feel some value, because he should feel, yes, company, I belong to this company, organization is also thinking for me, for my career. And so all these things are from the individual point of view also. Audit the skills within the organization. Audit is, through this audit process, we can all the data we can collect it. To set it targets the future performance. That is one of the objectives. Or for if we inputs, if I get all the inputs, then it is very easy to analyze this for the alert for the next jobs, what he can do it, or what will be his capacity. Everything will be reflected in the purpose and appraisal report. Identify the potential for the promotions. That is also one of the advantage in the objectives of the performance reports, where the area is they are really ready for this particular, take the responsibility or not, particular this positions. So for that also you have to identify things. Now this is some of the performance appraisal curve is there. I mean the process systems are there. Here you see there are some how to establish the performance standards, because definitely we have to compare the things based on these standards. The comparison performance standards, measuring the measurement of the actual performance, then communicate to the performance expectations, and then compare all things which are actually, I mean, as per the given things. Or we can say what are the objectives of the company are given, the individual objectives. Now, it can be comparison things. So, ultimately initiate the corrective actions if necessary, and finally, you have to start with the performance standards, because that is the dynamic nature and it is a continuous process. It is not a particular project to particular 1 year. Then maybe the next year it may arise. And now, why they are important, the performance reports? So it can be used for the career advancement, and it can be used for the transfer also. Based on this, you can transfer. You can assure before that what are the pre-requirements is required for this particular positions. So based on these, you can transfer him so that he can perform the project accordingly. It provides the guidelines for the training and development, because what type of training program is required, how many days is required, what type of training module is required for particular these employees. So everything can be correlated based on this your report. So guidelines, preparations of the guidelines for the training development, you have to take as input of the performance appraisal systems. It encourages the employees to work hard, because once the particular individual can relook his spells, yes, last year I have not done very good jobs, my performance deteriorated compared to others, or what are the objectives given by the company. So no, I should be that level. So that type of then based on this he may be start hard working, because to achieve the things. Performance appraisal facilities the determination of the incentives, because based on these you can get the you can decide the incentives, how much incentives to be given to the employees. Is the performance-based incentives can be formulated or can be ascertained based on these your appraisal systems. So it is also helpful for the development of the organizations. Definitely, when the individual development are considered, so in total, because the employee are working in the organizations also, so in altogether, complete organizations will be developed. Now the benefits. What are the benefits of the effective appraisals? Now here we have to see first in 3 categories. First, we have to see from the organization point of view. What type of advantage, what type of benefits from the organization point of view. It is improve the performance throughout the organizations. That is one thing. Then improvement in the tasks performed. Better way you can perform the tasks based on the previous mistakes or previous experience, what type of shortfalls were there. Definitely feedback will be there. After the performance report, then all the managers, seniors are discussed with the subordinate because this is the performance, where you have to lagging, where you are leading, everything can have to be discussed. Then that thing will affect in the for the improvement of the next work. Identification of the ideas for the improvement. So you can easily identify or tell him this is the area where your weakness. Basically, the strength point, weakness point easily can be identified. So you can say the employees, this is the area to develop. We are also here to support you through the training program or counseling, whatever the guidance is required. Definitely there. So it is a joint venture by the organizations as well as the employee. So this is all I'm talking about. We are now saying about the organizations benefits. Now, then training and development needs. Organizations can identify what type of training is required. Then culture of the continuous improvement of the success can be created and maintained. People with potential can be identified. So all are the benefits from the organizational point. Now let's see the appraisals. Appraisals. This is an opportunity to develop. Then identification of the idea of the improvement, an opportunity to link team with individual objectives. Those who are the appraisers may be manager, it may be HR persons, whoever, he can easily target his subordinates how to develop the things. So opportunity to clarify what are the opportunities that he can clarify the things. Then opportunity to reprioritize the targets. If you change this work in this way, that way, or you can meet the target, you can take some time or whatever the way you have to consider. A means of forming a more productive relationships with the staff based on the mutual trust and understanding. So that is the benefit for the appraisers. Now coming to the appraisal. So for the appraisal, in case it is an employee, definitely. So for the appraisal, the following benefits. What are the benefits? Increase the motivations. Because when the boss is saying something, that is your weak point or this is your strength point. So both the things are create the employee's motivations. It will increase. So increase the job satisfaction also. You always feel, okay, whatever the loopholes, whatever the lacking I am, my boss is always with me. He is guiding me. That way he can satisfy the jobs. Increase the sense of personal values. That is one of the important things. Personal values also increased. Now, some of the methods that we now see, there are so many methods that there are how to improve the performance of employees. There is a critical incident method. There are one of the checklist, one of the methods there, graphic rating scales, then forced choice methods, then behavioral anchored rating scales, group order ranking, individual ranking, paired comparisons. So people are there working there. Based on these, you can have a test, a role play, whatever the way you can judge it. Another thing, management by the objectives. That is one of the good method for the. So far, most of the multinational companies are adopting these things. Management by the objectives, where you can involve the supplier, and you can take the views from the supplier vendors also, these peer groups also, take all the feedback and sit together, make a target by the discussion only, the subordinate only, mutual discussions. You can feel that ideas. So that is the very unique method. So now it is a process. The MBA is a process that covers the organizational objectives into individual objectives. It can be thought of as consisting of the 4 steps, because there are goal setting, action planning, self-control, and your periodic review. You have to periodically review where you are now. You are near to target, you have met the target or ahead of target. That milestones are achieved or not, stage-wise. So that review is very important. Now this is really appraisal systems, 360-degree appraisal systems. It's a feedback process where it is involved in collecting the perceptions about a person's behavior and whatever impact on the behavior on his boss, colleagues, fellow members of the project teams, internal and external customers and the suppliers. So all has to be considered, from all angle, every points are to be considered. So benefit of 360-degree appraisals is for the individuals and as a team, and also the organizations also. Now counseling. Counseling is very important because where basically the weakness, for that is a criteria for the counseling. There is also a lot of psychological methods are there. Psychometric test is also there for the counseling systems. Expert only can do this. So main objective of the purpose counseling is to help the employees to work on his weakness and reinforce his strengths, because sometimes employer distress, maybe the very distress, and sometimes it is your maybe because of the workload, he can maybe sad. Sometimes he is not getting the job satisfactions, and that is one of the weak point part. How to cope up the stress levels, how to reduce the stress levels. So that's why you have to consult the point and strengthen the things, so that you have to reinforce what are the strengths you have. That has to be reinforced. So it is a developmental process where the supervisor and the subordinate discuss the past performance with a view to help the subordinate to improve and become the more effective in futures. So this is a requirement. Now career development, coming to career development is a function of the human resource management, which aims to provide providing your opportunities for people to develop their careers. Because every organization should have some career development program, because so that employee can be more attractive. They should know that this type of opportunity are coming in future. What are the forthcoming project maybe after 2 years, maybe after 3 years. So that career planning is also required for that. And so that is very much needed, especially for the present trends in the organizations. When people are joining, or maybe before that also, when they see any advertisement or any vacancies, before applying, you will think twice, because that the company have a good career development program is there or not. They have a career planning is there or not. If I join there after 5 years, where I will be? I will be a manager or chief manager or general manager, where I will be there? What are the career path is there or not? So all these points are initially those who are talented and educated persons, definitely they have to inquire before applying the things. So that's why the organizations, the company should have a good career development programs, so that people can attract more, they can join and retain. So that is the important part. So career, and moreover, succession planning is also very major area. So there are two things: career planning and as well as your succession planning. Both are major parts of the career development. If we see the career development, there are two major parts of this. Training and development plays a major role in the career development. So in these, some of the functions are there in the career development that we have to see what type of functions are there. So career planning and succession planning are normally explained in detail, because we should know what is the difference between the career planning and succession planning. Because career planning, we are considering the total employees and in any levels, irrespective of any levels, supervisor levels, management levels, even the top levels, CEO also, what type of career planning is kept for the policy, in the company policy is there or not. Succession policy, because there should be gap, should not be there. Suppose somebody is retiring or maybe they're leaving the things, the vacancies, the gap should be immediately filled up by the expert or maybe the equivalent rank of persons, same nature, same type of capability, that should be there. So they have to prepare for that. Organization have to keep a position that suppose after 2 months or maybe after 6 months or maybe in the one year, some of the posts will be vacant. So before that, they have to start planning, career planning, by succession planning, how to fill up the things, so that what can we go on and seamlessly, what can we do. So career is viewed as a sequence of positions, because somebody is joining in the company and is initially is a junior, then after that senior, some manager. So this is the way it is going on, just like a ladder, one by one steps you have to go on. So however, a person during the course of his lifetime, maybe before the retirement, it is expected maybe you will be a head of the department or section in charge or something. So that things are to be clarified, that's to be reflected in the policy. Career may also be viewed as a amalgam of the changes in the value, attitude, and motivations that occur as a person's grow older. Slowly, we will grow. That is also one of the things are so that the values will change initially, and then after that, the certain positions, there is a positioning changes, and all positions have some certain values. Now, career planning essentially means helping the employees to plan their career in terms of their capacities within the context of the organizational needs. So it is described as devising an organizational system of career movement and the growth opportunities from the point of entry of the individual in employment to the point of his or her retirement. So basically the opportunities to be highlighted at the point of entry of the individuals. And as I said, when he is joining, that has to be declared, has to be said, has to be poured in the mind. This is the things are there. This is the scenario will be start dreaming. Will be after 5 years, will be these positions. So that you have to take this responsibility. So it is a generally understood by the management technique for mapping of the entire career of the young employees in higher skilled, supervisory, and managerial positions. Then some of the components of the career developments are showing. There is a career development program. There are your internal careers, some assessment, then career opportunities, and employees' need and opportunities. Other way to see the career planning is the process and the activities where the organizational HR, your inventory, then your employees' potential for the career planning, training and development program, age balances, and the career paths, then review of the career development plan in actions, and lastly, your career planning. These all are the part of your career planning part. And the program, career development program, there are three aspects. One, the internal career opportunities, and the employees need the opportunity. This is a structure is or like the component. Now, some limitation of the career planning, because when we are preparing the planning for the career, some limitations is all right. It is not so easy to implement the career planning process in an organization. A lot of issues are there. So difficulties and the problems, like for example, it does not should be a very small organization sometimes because it's a very long time process. Maybe the money is also involved because the training department, training and development, there are huge money is invested. Maybe the small company may not be liking to this type of career. So these all are certain limitations. So there should be opportunities for vertical mobility if career planning has to become a reality. So all our things are there. Now, career planning is not an effective management techniques for a large number of HR who work on the soft floor particularly. For those who are illiterate, I mean, there are illiterate, less educated persons, and apart from the jobs for which labor supply is abundant. So growth expectations of the numbers of the family in a family concern produce adverse results, since the members of the family expect to move. So that is, you have to consider in the career planning time. Succession planning is, as I said, it is a ongoing process. Identify the necessary competencies so that you can fill up the gaps, and then work for the assess to develop and retain the talent pool of the employees in order to ensure the continuity of the leaderships for all critical positions. Now it is a plan. Now the succession plan is basically is a manager can follow, implement, and customize to meet the needs of their organization, divisions, and the departments. It's a continued existence of an organizations over time. Require successions of the persons to fill the key position. As I said, the key positions, suppose CEO is leaving, maybe after 6 months, years or retirement, or maybe the tenure is complete. So that's an immediately you have to plan and maybe overlapping, because suppose one senior is already exist in 3 months, you can appoint some of these parallel CEO or parallel directors, so that he can accustom the systems and he can handle very easily. Just like a relay race, one person has handleable and other person has taken over. Just like a relay race, and so that should not be any distance. Total run can be completed by the things. So gap should not be there. That's the continued existence of an organization over time require succession persons to fill the key positions. The purpose of the succession planning is to identify and develop the people to replace current incumbents in key positions for a variety of reasons. Now, training and development. Training and development is the most important functions that it is directly contributes to the development of the human resources. and it's a part of a HRM. This also happens to be a neglected functions in most of the organizations, because sometimes some of the organizations are thinking it's a waste of the money. Why you are putting? It is just like an investment. In turns, you will get debentures or profit. I mean, the interest will get it later on. So it is just like a long-term investment process. So training is a short-term process utilizing a systematic and organize the procedure by which the personnel acquired technical knowledge and skills for a definite purposes. So that is the idea behind it. And training is essential because the technology is deploying continuously at a faster rate. If you see the present scenario globally, because the technology is coming very fast. So that's why a different type of training program are very much needed, and that's the most of the companies, HR departments, and those who are in the training and development, HR especially, they are very busy with this, changing their modules and training programs. What type of training should be there? So every time the technology is coming. So this is one of the challenge. So there is some other reasons also for which the training becomes necessary, because you have to continuously develop the people so that you can perform the well, your productivity can be increased. So that is the various why the need for the training. First of all, you have to see why the need for these things. So employment or the inexperienced and new labor requires the detailed instructions. That is one of the things. People have to work, but work effectively with the minimum of supervisions, minimum of cost, waste, and spoilage, and to produce quality goods and services. Fast changing techniques in productions and other operations require training into newer methods for the operatives. Old employees need refresher training to enable them to keep abreast of changing the techniques and the use of sophisticated tools and equipment. Training is necessary when a person has to move from one job to another because of the transfer, promotions, or demotions. So he requires some of the training. Now coming to your organizing the programs. So some of the following sources can be used for identifying the training programs. So some of the sources are given. Performance review report. Based on these, you can prepare your identifying the needs of the training. Another area is the potential appraisals, because some of the potential appraisals little bit different from the personal performance appraisals, where some of the hidden power, hidden quality are within the employees. So during the process of work, by the pass of time, when you are giving these jobs or when you are putting that area, then only it can be reflected, or you can identify, yes, that much capability, yes, maybe any areas. So that potential area has to be such, that the talent search within the organizations is very important. So that appraisals is also very important. Based on these, you can identify what type of training further required for this potentially expert people, so that they can be more productive, and in future they can handle the situations in a very expert way. Then job rotation is another way. You can identify the training needs, because you are putting some of the particular sections and he is not performing well. That is the area training is required. Maybe he has, when the rotation of the job, maybe some of the department he is very much active and very fast. He can gaining all these things. He has understand all these things. So this is the strong area. So this is the way during the job rotations you can identify where he is taking a more interest, more comfortable, and more satisfied the particular work. So then this is the way you can identify the further training is needed or not. So all training methods can be broadly classified basically as on-job training of on-the-job methods and off-the-job methods. Both the things are very needed, especially those who are in the technical field. So both the things are important, especially on-the-job method is very successfully you can identify. Now, responsibility for the training. If you have realized that the training is quite a stupendous task, which cannot be done by one single department, so you are right to your thinking. Another thing is, in fact, the total responsibility for training has to be shared among. And third is the top management who should frame and authorize the basis training policies, review and approve the broad outlines of the training plans and program and approve the training budgets also. Third point I am trying to highlight, emphasize more, because you see the top level involvement, their approval is very much needed, because that initiative will come from the top levels on. Then the training department or the HRM can be accordingly. So that's why the approved training budget, another thing is the budget is very important. So this is the responsibility part. Now, evaluations. There are training evaluation, there are 7 main areas are there. 7 main areas there. There is one of the pre-training factors are there. Preparation, your learning motivation expectations, then your training curriculum including what type of curriculum should be there, specific events, specific sections. Third is the training management, the area of satisfaction, dissatisfaction, training facilities, and other facilities all are the area, basically training evaluation areas. Now, fourth is training. The training, one is a learning climate, a training method, pedagogy. One is your trainer, team effectiveness, and participant development is also important. There is conceptual development. Then your learning of the skills. Obviously, some of the materials is also important, study materials. Then your modules, basically training modules, change of the behavior, applications, is all are needed. Now, organizational development, there are job effectiveness, team effectiveness, organizational effectiveness are part of your organizational development. Post-training factors. There you have to analyze the things, the cost, how much cost you have spent for this training. Because so that accordingly you can make a budget for the next current financial years. So that's why the cost estimation is required. Then your organizational support. Then your organizational factors hindering for facilitating the use of the training purposes. So some of the factors is also there. Now coming to retraining. Retraining is basically the program for are designed as a mean of the avoiding the personal obsolescence, because some of the maybe the old software, the machineries are very old, new software, latest technology, latest state-of-the-art technologies to be required. For that, maybe it is required for the retaining of the employees, maybe 5 years or 10 years before. He has trained something, but now because of the obsolescence, because the systems have changed, new software has come, or the technology is also drastically changed, So because of that, maybe so many other reasons are also there. So that based on these, you have to retrain the people so that upgrade, the upgradation purposes. So it is the tendency of the individual worker to become outdated in terms of job requirements. So this is true of the employees at every in the organizations. So that's why the retaining and training, both the things are things. Now translating the business strategy. Now it is into the training terms, successful implementations of the business strategy of the organizations will require some competencies. Business strategy indicates the broad dimension, broad direction for the future movements of the organizations and prefer the ways of doing so for successful implementations. The organizational tasks must be translated into various functional terms: marketing, financial, technology, human resources, training, etc. And it helps make the strategy formulations and implementation participative. In a gist, I can say the strategy, when you are the business, we are talking about the business strategy, where the training programs or maybe the HRM strategy of the HRM has to be should be aligned with all these things for if we want to see the total success of the successful strategy of the company. Now coming to compensation part is there. The compensation functions, it's contribute to the organizational effectiveness. There are 4 basic ways. The compensation can start to attract the qualified applicants of the company, to attract the things. Yes, there are companies, very good packages, basic pay salaries, fringe benefits, and other allowances are very good, attractive. Even there are some performance incentives also there. So that's all these things are your compensation package should be more attractive, so that you can see the other company also, competitor also. So organization offering the higher level of pay, it can attract the large number of qualified applicants than its competitive units. So compensation, it helps to retain the competent employees. Another advantage in the organizations. So although retaining the competent workers in contingent on many factors are there, so compensation policies help by maintaining a fair internal pay structure and by providing the attractive benefits. Another thing is advantages, you can reduce the turnover is reduced because of employee coming and going, they're joining after 1 year, 6 months, they're leaving the organization. So that way, the turnover, if you have a good compensation package, you can reduce the things. Along with the cost also, because when the expert people, some of the after 1 year he is leaving, especially the software companies, they're facing a problem because the talented people are coming, they are trained, they are already expert, but after a few days or few months, they are leaving these organizations, going to the other. Maybe it's any reasons. So that's why you have to have a good compensation package so that your talented people, expert people should not leave the company at least 4 to 5 years. So pay package, pay structures, attractive benefits, everything are to be excellent. So that's why the compensation, it is required. So it serves compensation, serve an incentive to motivate the employees to put forth their best efforts. Manufacturing and the sales organizations, for example, use the monetary incentives to attain the higher levels of the productions or sale without the hiring the additional employees. So you can restrict to recruit the people so that you can meet the productions without hiring the people. So that is one of the advantage if you give a good compensation to people. When the employees put forth for their best efforts, average productivity of the laborers increases. With increase the productivity, fewer employees are needed to achieve the same level of output. Thus, the labor costs are reduced and organizational productivity is increased. So your compensation package may be initially, all the organizations are thinking, no, why should I increase the salaries? But it's a long-term effect. If you cascading effect, because if you see in long run, you can lot of money can be saved. Initial maybe 5 or 10% you are investing, maybe you can save 70 to 80%, because you not to have the people are more productive, they can give more productions and excellent work they can do, and motivation. Main thing is motivation, job satisfaction. So minimizing the cost of compensation can also contribute to organizational effectiveness, since the compensation is a significant cost of the most employer. Most of the employers you see their headache, why should I go big package to the company, to the employees. So that is the reason behind it. Now, the policy, there is one of the things you have to put policy for that, to recognize the value of the all jobs in relation to each other within the company. That is very important. To take the account of wage rates paid by the companies of the similar size product and philosophy, because they should, any employee should not feel I am paying less to the compared to the other company. That type of sense should not come in the mind. If it is that mindset is like this, then definitely it will be affecting the production also. So to ensure the stable earnings, you have to ensure that stable earnings should be there. Enable the individuals to reach their full earning potential as far as is reasonably practicable. To ensure the employees share in the company's prosperity as a result of increasing the efficiency. So here some of the policies as given, policy should be in line with these things. Now we have to see the objectives of the compensation package. It is a numerous and might include in the following some of the things. It is enable the employees to earn a good and reasonable salary of wages. Then to pay the equitable sums to different individuals, avoiding your anomalies, any amalgamations or any salary disputes or something, or maybe the increment systems. So that you have to consider it, so that within the workmen, within the employees, there shouldn't be any ambiguities. They should have feel all are equally treated. That type of fields should be created. To reward and encourage high quality work and output, you have to give a reward, some appreciations for these things. So that type of objective should be this. To encourage the employees to develop better methods of working and their acceptance. To discourage the wastage of the material of the or the equipment, because that is one of the prime things. And today, as I say, this is our Parivaran. We are the day of 5th June. We are celebrating the things. So we have to see the wastage should not be there, should be clean, and how to protect the the optimum utilization of the materials. Resources are very important. So that's why you have to discourage the wastage of the materials, because sometimes if we see the wastage materials cost may be very high. So that's why maybe 5 to 10% are your total profit are by the wastage only. So that's why you encourage the employees to use their initiatives and the discussions, and to discourage the part-time working unless it is very essential, because sometimes overtime is just like one of the is not a solutions. because it is just like a habit. It will be one of the not a good cultures, because always the tendency, the human tendency will be there, slow down of the work, and then in the end of the time, definitely manager will come to me, finish this work, okay, tomorrow will come, I will give you water. So then he can do it. So some manipulation, timing manipulations, and greediness, sometimes it creates some greediness. Greed will be there, basically, if you continuously giving the work times. So it is not advisable, basically. But however, if the company is getting a more order and targeted work products, you have to, by the time you have to finish the work and have to hand over to the customers. So that case, it may require give a work times, considering the situations. Maybe during that time period, it may not be possible that much capacity, production capacity. So maybe temporarily you can have the peoples, or otherwise what the existing peoples are there, those are really interested to work hard and can earn some extra money, you can allow them for overtimes. So overtime working, that's why it is unless very essentials. Others try to discourage the things. Now coming to our some of the reward systems, because you see the reward systems are one of the important attributes, because sometimes you see the work organizations in its ability to give rewards to their members. So maybe in the next sessions, in the next Thursday, next forthcoming sessions, I will discuss more about the reward systems with some other units also. Here I just give you some of the clips so that I can have a better idea for the reward systems. Next session I will go in details. So here actually all the organizations, maybe you are a good compensation package, your strategy is good, your objectives is good, everything is good, but still something is there. If you don't have any good reward systems, so chances will be people can leave the things. So people are motivated by monetary benefits, sometimes non-monetary benefits. There are so many ways you can give the reward. Those who are really, there are two effects. Manifold effect is there. If we not reward systems, what will happen? First, we can see in other way. If we not implement the reward systems, what happens? There's just justified those who are really hard workers and doing the job, are really motivated and career making persons, that no appreciation is there. So how long he can continue? Maybe one time, maybe 1 year, 2 years, he is doing very hard work. Every time he is excellent. But what are the salary or packages are the same? Maybe the feelings may come. My colleagues are also getting the same salaries, same benefits, same everything are there. But I am also getting the same salary. Why should I go for hard work, more hard work? So that type of feelings may come, even though he is a self-motivated person. But the environment will be such things can change his mind, or maybe the surrounding environment can change his mindset. So that's why if we have some reward systems, and then it will be a continue, motivation level will continue. It cannot be deteriorate, because your pay, permissions, some of the fringe benefits are there, status symbols, perhaps the most important rewards. So that's why all the company has to now start thinking within the compensation package. That's why the reward system is also parallelly important, because these rewards are important. The way they are distributed have a profound effect on the quality of work life, as well as on the effectiveness of the work organizations. So actually the competitions, we have to try to understand where the competitions in the worldwide, in the present trends, quality, and productivity also, because the quality is important nowadays. Increase the productivity, you are very efficient, may not be fruitful for the company. You have to have a good quality product also, motivated persons, and that's why you can have a good, effective organizations. Now, there's some of the organizations typically they rely on the reward systems to do 4 things. One is to motivate the employees to perform effectively. It is one of the area. Motivate the employees to join the organizations. There is another dimensions you can see. Another third is your motivate the employees to come to work within these organizations. Another thing is to motivate the individuals by indicating their positions in the organizational structures. Because you are just giving us some positions. You are now from after 6 months will be head of this department. So that things it will create his mind. Okay, I will get a new responsibility, new jobs. My last 4-5 years performance and my efficiency has been noticed. It is recognized by the company. Now company has likely to be promoted me after 6 months. I will get positions. So position has to be declared, and within the structure that should be there. So within your structural systems, so you have even the timeline also to be fixed. When, what time will be eligible for that? Maybe after 4 years, maybe after 5 years. Then maybe requirements about the tests, maybe the interviews, maybe group discussions, management will decide. That is another part. But that system should be there so that individual can be motivated. Yes, after 4 years I will be eligible for that, and okay, I can do it based on my performance, by my talent, my experience, and my hard work. I definitely show. So after 4 years, definitely I will be that positions. So that feelings will start, so that things are coming by the. So within the reward systems, these things will be required. So then in the next sessions, I will discuss more about the formation of the reward systems, what type of forms, then your employee benefits, fringe benefits, perquisites, parts, various wages. That is what I will to discuss on next session. So today I try to cover up the block 3. This is also part of block 3. The little part is there, and along with the block 4, I will try to cover up in the next sessions. So okay, thank you very much. Thank you.